将信念化作决心。100天后，一起超越更快的极限。100天后，我们会一起追逐更高的风景。100天后，用更强打破所有不可能。而这里不只有我们。从2008到2022，所有一心向梦的人都将团结一起，并肩同行，携手共进，一起向未来。我们相信，我们定能再次拥抱，再次呐喊，再一次为全力以赴喝彩。先齐聚，梦就绪。北京2022年冬奥会，100天后，让我们在北京相聚。
Hello everybody! Welcome to CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page, YouTube channel, and 英语环球广播微博. Welcome to another live stream here in the studio. I am Niuniu. I'm with Tony here as always. Hi,
Hey
Tony.
guys, how's it going? It's a pleasure to be here as usual. We got a pretty exciting event to talk about today, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's a very special event, and I think our smart friends online have already figured it out because of the opening video. Yes.
Yeah, lots of cold places and exciting activities that I would never try.
Come on, be bold. Be
no.
a adventurer,
No.
a daredevil, the kind of person who would
Those mountains are
swoop into snow.
Those mountains are a little too high and it's a little too cold out there.
Yeah, I think for winter days, people tend to think it can be a little bit too cold. It can be a little bit, hard to enjoy because you don't get a lot of outdoor activities.
Well, yeah, there's avalanches out there. You could break your leg and freeze,
And that is not the attitude I advocate here because today actually marks the 100-day countdown of our very exciting 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Winter Olympics, that's something I never imagined myself being super interested in because during this preparation phase, I started to do a lot of research, started to try to figure out all the different events, the different sports. And I gotta tell you, it grows on you.
Does it really?
I'm
more of a summer kind of guy, if you guys hadn't figured that out.
You are a summer kind of guy, but
yes.
This is the perfect occasion for you to have a little bit interest, a little seed growing in your heart, ready to become a huge, blossoming, beautiful tree that is in love with winter sports. Could be really fun. And I think there's a lot to talk about because, if you are anything like me, you probably have not much knowledge on, winter sports.
Yeah.
We know it has something to do with snow.
And see, that's the thing. I have a little bit of knowledge on it because I've tried skiing before. From first-hand experience, guys. And yes, it's very majestic. The environment's really nice, and it's cool. Hats off to a lot of the people who do these sports because it takes a lot of dexterity, and you have to angle yourself perfectly. And so, yeah, this event that's coming up, I think the infrastructure and some of the slides are a bit intimidating for me because, again, I'm thinking of my first experience. But you got a lot of people out there who love this type of, these sports and activities.
Yes, totally. And the good news is that even though perhaps you're not the biggest fan of winter sports, perhaps you don't even understand different sports, different disciplines, different events during the Winter Olympic Games, there's no worry because like we mentioned in the earlier part of the show, it's only the 100-day countdown. So you still have 100 days to do a little bit preparation so you can enjoy the games much, much more. And today we are going to provide you with some information about this interesting, exciting activity we are looking at and
try to give you some education so that you can be prepared when that 100-day period is over, right?
Yeah, give you the nudge you need to start your Olympic experience. And one thing that I have to mention here is that Beijing is quite unique in the Olympics history because it is going to be the first city in the world that has held or will be holding both the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
It's something quite, I'll say, impressive because for Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics, there are different requirements, especially in terms of weather, temperature, the volume of snow, the ability to, let's say, be a perfect host to people, to athletes all over the world, and all that requirements can be a little bit different, or let's say have a little bit of difference between Summer Games and Winter Games. And apparently Beijing are checking all the boxes, fitting in all these different categories, allowing athletes from all over the world to come, and not only for the Summer Games in 2008, but also for the Winter Game in 2020. And actually we have just released a promotional video for the so-called 双奥之城 dual city. 双奥之城, so that means a city with the dual Olympics city with, or dual Olympic city. And that video is also very interesting, so I would invite you to take a look. 我们来看一下双奥之城倒计时100天的宣传片。Welcome back. Did you enjoy the video? Well, I did.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It's a really colorful depiction of Beijing. And there was I think a melon that was carved in the Olympic 2020.
Oh, yes.
That was kind of cool.
That's really
Somebody
cool.
had a lot of time on their hands.
And also, I think it's art. It's not about free time. It's more about putting the passion into things that you love and showing your passion in the things that you're good at.
Well, I think that's free time. You got to have free time to be able to do that.
That too, I give you that. But the idea about Beijing being the Olympic city, or the city of dual Olympics, is that it's the kind of place where people would welcome you warmly, would really love for the city to be a host for the entire world. And that shows in not only the smiling faces, but also on the fact that they're doing a lot of preparation work on the venue, on the infrastructure construction, on even the educating of the volunteers. So the city is really welcoming people to, well, let's say, take part into this lovely event that is going to happen in exactly 100 days.
Exactly 100 days. I thought I saw a ramp that looked pretty daunting. Yeah, really scary. Again, there's no way I would jump off of that thing. So,
yes.
Yeah, I think that's an allure too, just being able to watch these guys do these types of skiing or snowboarding or whatever. It's just captivating.
Yeah, it is captivating. And as always, this is the recording of a podcast show as well. So we show you the exact process of the recording. We're using this video studio, so it will be easier for you guys to take a look at us as well. But yes, this is also the live recording of Takeaway Chinese, my favorite podcast, at least, right here. We are going to show you the entire recording process, but in between the recording and at the end of the recording, we'll be taking questions, so do not hesitate to leaving questions in the comment area. Actually, allow me to say hi to many of you already. We have Akash saying hi and saying wow with multiple W's. Thank you for all the hearts and W's. And I'm also saying hello to Umar, to a friend whose name I do not know how to pronounce. I'm not really sure which language is this.
Oh, it looks like it could be the original Indian.
Oh, really?
I can't remember the name of that writing, but yeah, it's really cool.
It's cool, and it's not something I can pronounce, but very happy to have you here. And we have singer Alfat saying so beautiful. Thank you. You're talking about this little girl over there, right? She's skiing. She's skiing on the mountain. And we have it saying so cool, awesome. Thank you. These are the words that we're looking for. And thank you for Bonita saying beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Really nice.
Really nice. And we also have Akash saying, how are you? How to tell Chinese? Or how to say, are you trying to ask how to say how are you in Chinese?
Maybe.
你好吗?
你好吗?
你好吗? See, Tony knows. That's the perk of being on the show long enough. So if you stick with us, watch the live stream, listen to Takeaway Chinese.
What she's really saying is if Tony can get it, then you can too.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying.
She's implying.
Putting in the effort, and you will get the results, and sometimes even more than one result. And we'll explain in the recording of the show. Right. Very happy to have all of you here. Glenn is saying plenty to do in the state of West Virginia in the winter. See, you are a winter sport lover, and you will be enjoying the show. And perhaps you can give us a little tips about winter games as well, because I'm not the expert here, but I am already super hooked with all the winter games. 你好 saying 祝大家身体健康平安. Glenn saying skiing can be done all year, every season in West Virginia. All these lovely messages. Thank you guys so much.
Sounds like it's really cold there.
It can be really cold there. And like we mentioned in the early part of the show, we'll be recording now, so the taking question process will happen after the recording of the first part, but do not worry about it. Just leave comment as much as you want, and we'll be taking questions shortly after. So now let's get started with the recording of our favorite podcast show, Takeaway Chinese, shall we?
Let's learn some Chinese.
Learn some Chinese. All right. 你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Mr. Tony Reed here in the studio. Hi, Tony.
Honglin, what's going on? It's a pleasure to be here as usual.
As usual, it's really nice to have you on the show. Aww. But for this topic, I'm a little bit, how do I say it? Hesitating. Hesitating is the right word because
hesitant.
Hesitant. Thank you.
Yeah,
hesitant. Yeah. Because as I know, you are not a huge fan for the cold, let's say, glooming winter.
Not really. I'm from California, so it's a lot warmer. We rarely see snow or rain. So for me, I'm more of a summer kind of guy. But winter sports and winter environments are really majestic, very beautiful. And yeah, from afar, I think it's really cool to watch.
Yes, and I am actually inviting you to watch some cool winter sports from afar because Beijing is welcoming its 2022 Winter Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And during that time, we'd be able to appreciate a lot of very skillful athletes doing their crazy skillful stuff.
Suicidal stuff, yes.
That's not suicidal, it's just daredevil, adventurous, and super skillful.
Same thing, daredevil.
Stuff, competing with each other, trying to be the fastest, the highest, the strongest, or at least faster, higher, and stronger than they used to be and than others. So that would be the 2022 Olympics. And today's Takeaway Chinese, I'm thinking about take a look at whether or not the preparation process is in the good place.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to see what the city's doing to prepare for pretty much all the athletes coming and all the people that want to see it too.
Oh, yeah. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip with the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, CRI Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 你知道北京冬奥的很多场馆都是夏季奥运会的场馆改建的吗？知道啊，因为北京是第一个双奥之城嘛，场馆遗产丰厚，真是一举两得，一石二鸟，一箭双雕啊！你这几个成语用得真好。那是，我最近在学含有数字的成语， 刚好用上了。
Yeah. Conversation about, well, the Olympics and language, it seems, at the same time.
Oh, yeah, at the same time, because Olympics are about promoting cultures and strengthening the communication among different cultures and languages. And apparently,
no, it's not. It's about winning.
Winning is also a very vital part of Olympics. I have to give you that. But at the same time, we gather together to run and see who runs the fastest. It's still something that allows us to communicate with each other, interchange our techniques in sometimes running, but for other people in language learning as well. So I would say those two topics intertwine together quite well.
Yeah.
So for the conversation, I think we can learn a lot of interesting expressions in today's conversation and hopefully learn to say the same thing in different expressions. That's the essence of language.
So today we're going to learn things that we can use in real time.
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
Sounds
so
good.
For the first sentence, 你知道北京冬奥的很多场馆都是夏季奥运会的场馆改建的吗？
Wow, that was really fast. So, did you know that many venues of the Beijing Winter Olympic Games were converted from the ones that were used in the Summer Games? So, all right, so 你知道, this is you know.
You know, 你知道. But in Chinese, because our sentence structure is more like, well, when it comes to yes or no questions, our sentence structure allow you to say the entire sentence with a m at the end of the sentence to suggest it is a question. So it's actually you know.
So you got to wait for a while to know if it's a question or a statement.
Or listen to the tone.
Okay. So, 你知道.
You know.
Beijing.
That's Beijing.
冬奥的.
冬奥.
冬奥. This is the Olympic game, right?
Yes, but it's a little bit tricky. The reason that you're a bit baffled is that 冬 means 冬天, so winter time. Winter time, 冬天. We use 天 plus the season suggesting character to form a word, to form actually the names of all 4 seasons. So 春天, that'll be summer day. Oh, excuse me, springtime, 春天, spring, and 夏天, that is summer, 秋天, autumn, and 冬天, that's winter. So 冬 means winter, and 奥 suggests 奥林匹克运动会. That's actually
so that's
the
an
Olympics.
Abbreviation.
It's an abbreviation.
I was wondering why Olympic Games was so short, just 奥.
Oh, yes, that's an abbreviation. So 冬奥 together would be Winter Olympics. 冬奥, Winter Olympics. 冬奥.
Okay. And moving right along, 冬奥的很多. 很多 normally means like a lot, right?
A lot, yes. You can say 今天有很多人 or 今天商场里有很多人. Yes, many people in the mall.
All right.
很多.
And then 场馆.
场馆.
So this is the places or like 地方 or like places or venues,
Venue,
right?
yes, because 场 suggests a place that is, well, I would say it's mostly open air and it's quite vast, whereas 馆, you might have heard the character in 图书馆, a library, or 展览馆, a exhibition hall. So 馆 carries the meaning of a building that is a venue, and together both 场馆 carry the meaning of venue. So 场馆together, venue. And I think the word 场馆 is more often used for sports venues or exhibition kind of venues, the kind of venue that can be used for multiple purposes. 场馆.
All right. And then 都是.
都是.
So is this kind of related to more again?
All are.
Okay, all are.
Yeah.
And then 夏季.
夏季.
That sounds like summer.
Summer, yes, 夏季. So we mentioned that you can say 夏天, that's summer. It's more of a relatively colloquial way of saying it or relatively casual way of saying it. Of course, you can still use it in written language, in passages, it's fine. But 夏季, because 季 means 季节, 季节, season. So 夏季 would be the summer season. 夏季, 夏季.
So if we wanted to say summer games, would we say 夏季奥 or just 夏奥?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. You don't
so that
say any
work?
of those. It doesn't work. Because when we talk about Olympic Games, you see the Summer Olympic Games has a longer history, more people attend, and also it's relatively more popular because it's not confined
it's not
to
cold.
the condition of the places, which is why we use 奥运会, 奥林匹克运动会, the Olympia or Olympiad or Olympics, to refer to 夏季奥运会, the Summer Olympics more often. So if we just directly say 奥运会, people would understand it as the Summer Games. But if you're using both the Summer Games and the Winter Games in the same sentence, you have to make the distinction. In that case, you say 夏季奥运会. So 夏季, summertime, 奥运会, that is the 奥林匹克 Olympic, 运动 sports, 会 meeting, so the Olympic Games.
Oh, so it's a lot longer. All right.
A lot longer. 夏季奥运会.
So
and yes, we have
夏季奥运会
yeah, we have 奥运会 over there.
Summer Olympics of, or apostrophe S.
Yes.
场馆.
场馆.
This is venue again.
Venue again. 场馆.
改建.
改建.
And I think that's related to the rebuilding, right?
The rebuilding, because 改 carries the meaning of correct or change. 改. So you would say 改错本. When I was a kid, I remember myself having this little notebook with all of the questions that I got wrong from different tests. I would collect them together and write down the right answers as well as the wrong answers and the distinction between them.
Nerd alert.
That is a vivid proof that I treat or I regard learning very seriously. Anyway, 改错 would be change or correct yourself, correct your mistakes. 改错. And 改错本 is the notebook I had. And 建设, it means to construct or to build. So 改建 would mean you do a little bit rebuild, or you do a little bit renovation work, you decorate a little bit, at least it involves a certain level of construction in the changing of the venues. So the entire sentence is trying to say 改建 means you do a little bit reconstruction work to the venues and do the adaptation so that they would be suitable for Winter Games as well. 改建.
Yeah, if I'm not listening properly, it almost sounds like you're saying 再见, which means goodbye.
That's true. 再见.
Very close.
Not
so,
close, but I get it.
改建的嘛. So there's your ma. That's the question at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving right along.
知道啊，因为北京是第一个申奥之城嘛，场馆遗产丰厚。
So this is, of course, I know, because Beijing is the first dual Olympic city.
Oh, yeah.
There's a rich heritage in terms of venues. So, 知道啊, so this is the, I'm not sure exactly when I'm supposed to say that and not, but I think it's supposed to soften the tone and make you sound really cutesy. So, 知道 means I know. 因为 is because, and Beijing is, of course, Beijing. Beijing is, 第一个. 第一个 I know is one, so I think this is first, right?
First. See, in English, it's hard. You have to remember one and first, two and second, three and third, two different words. In Chinese, all you need to do is put a 第 in front of the number, and then you got your first, second, third. Yes. So, 第一 would be first.
In this context, second. Maybe it's easy, but I mean...
第三, third. And yeah, that's 第. So, 第 is saying you're counting. Yeah.
Okay. 第一个 双奥之城.
Oh.
So this is, I know 双 is two.
双奥之城.
And then 奥 is the Olympic, right? Yeah. And then 之城 is...
city as such.
City, okay.
Yes, so 申奥之城, again, this is, I would say...
Double Olympic city.
Double Olympic city, but you would not. It's easy for you to take it as a set phrase or an idiom. It's not. It's the kind of term that we coin so that it sounds more elegant. And that's the beauty of Chinese. When you abbreviate, when you use these different expressions and you put them together and people use them often enough, it sounds like a word already. So 双 carries the meaning of both or double. 双 奥运会, we know that. 奥林匹克, that's the abbreviation of 奥林匹克 Olympic. 奥 and 之 means apostrophe s actually, or it's a ancient way, ancient 的 in the Mandarin. And 城 is 城市 city. 双奥之城 a exactly dual Olympic city. 双奥之城.
Things change depending on the context.
Oh yeah.
So difficult. All right, moving on. So we have 场馆.
场馆.
This is venue, right? And then 遗产.
遗产.
So this is like inherited or
heritage.
Right?
Yes, you know this one. We've talked about the World Heritage, 世界遗产. And here, this is in the sense that the Summer Olympic Games is already concluded, and it left a lot of stuff behind, and we can utilize those venues, those infrastructure constructions, and in this sense, it is a kind of heritage. We say 场馆遗产, so it's the heritage in terms of venues. But of course, there are other kind of heritage, like people's passion about sports, like the ability to welcome people from all over the world, and also the kind of enthusiasm to be a perfect host. So that are, in certain sense, 遗产 as well. So 遗 means left behind, and 产 is like estate, real estate, kind of estate. So 遗产, heritage, 遗产.
Okay, 遗产, and then 丰厚.
丰厚.
Is it 丰厚 or 丰裕?
丰厚.
丰厚.
There are different words for rich.
Because it's rich, yeah.
Yeah, but for this one, 丰厚, 遗产丰厚, it's kind of like a correlation. It's a set phrase.
Okay.
遗产丰厚, 丰厚的遗产. Thick, a lot of. Imagine a list of stuff you get, and if the list on the paper, if you got a lot of pages of papers, the list must be long.
Okay, I would not want to inherit a long list like that.
Really?
No.
丰厚的遗产, 场馆遗产丰厚 in this sense.
All right.
真是一举两得, 一石二鸟, 一箭双雕啊.
Okay, that's like killing two birds with one stone.
Oh, yeah.
So this sounds like an expression, but I see multiple words here. So 真是, so this is, right? Or that's like, or that
really is. That really is.
一举两得.
Yeah.
So this is the expression of killing two birds with one stone, right?
Well, actually, all three of them here are the expressions for that exact same meaning.
Okay.
So we have 一举两得. 一 we know is one, and 举 means an action, a behavior, a thing you do. 一举. 两 is two, and 得 means gain. So do one thing, gain two things. It means killing two birds with one stone. 一举两得. It's
I've heard that
relatively direct.
expression my whole life, but when you really think about it, how do you kill two birds with one stone? It's almost impossible. Those things are really fast. And how can you actually hit a bird with a stone?
Well, you can hit a bird, and you're really strong, and the bird goes on the same direction with a stone, hitting another bird. No. It's like, I don't know, table ball or something.
No way. But yeah, I get it. And then you have the other one, that 一石二鸟.
Oh yeah, 一石二鸟. Since you're mentioning 一石, one stone, two birds, this one actually is exactly one stone, two birds. So 一 is one, 石头 stone, 二 two, and 鸟birds, one stone, two birds.
So that's a literal translation there.
Very literal, but it's not a literal translation per se, because it's a Chinese idiom itself. When you say 一石二鸟, people totally understand you, and I like it because it shows the beauty and the connection in different languages. We have the exact same metaphor, the exact same sentiment in the expressions in the totally different two languages.
Right. Then we have the third version. 一箭双雕.
You're using it really well. You're pronouncing it quite cool. You should use it more often. 一箭双雕. So that literally
and that's a milestone. She said that because I never get the tones right. So I'm just like, what? Really? Okay.
Tony's doing a really good job. So 一箭双雕, you can understand it as with the development of the society, the technology, the tools are improving. Instead of using a stone, we're using arrow. So 一箭 is one arrow.
It's getting more violent. One arrow, two birds.
Effective, yes. That's two.
Another impossibility.
双, two. And 雕 is eagle.
Eagle?
We're being very specific about birds here in this expression.
They're endangered. You can't shoot arrow. You can't shoot eagles like that.
In ancient times, they were not endangered. They were delicious. And you want to get very effective. 一箭双雕. The improvement of technology and tools. So here we have 一举两得, 一石二鸟, 一箭双雕, which also indicates that in the Chinese language, we have at least 3 different characters to mean two or both. So, 二 is two, 两 is two, and 双 means both. And we've got 双奥之称, so dual is both two. So, yes, 一举两得, 一石二鸟, 一箭双雕. And then we have, 你这几个成语用得真好.
So this is, you're using these idioms pretty good. So, 你这几个.
Yes.
So this is you, and 几个, isn't that like a quantity?
Yes, it's
term?
more like 个 is the quantity term, and 几个 would be more like several. So you're not saying exactly how many, but you're saying like this couple of words you're using to really well. So 这几个, these couple of, and then we have 成语.
成语. This is a new word for me. I think that's idiom, yeah?
That's idiom. So 成语, you can kind of understand it as a set saying. So 语 is 语言, that's the language, or 用语, that's the saying. And 成carries the meaning of finished or completed. So you've complete the making of these words, even though to start with, they might be set phrases, or they might just be the kind of words that is with a background story, but now we use them as set phrase, as idiom. So 成语 idiom, 成语.
And then 用的, this is use. And then 很好.
真好.
Oh, 真好.
Yes, quite well. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes. 那是我最近在学含有数字的成语，刚好用上了。
So this is, of course, I've been learning idioms with numbers in these days, and it happens that I can use them here.
Oh yeah, that's really nice, isn't
with
it?
Numbers.
With numbers. This is a fun thing. I'll tell you why. I think Chinese people just really like numbers. We like math. We like them.
All right. All right, so 那是.
那是.
So this is not exactly of course, right? Because of course is 当然, right?
那是 is more like
right or
right. That
confirming.
is, yeah. You remember you asked me about how to say I knew it. I knew it. 那是 is a little bit like that. You can use 那是 as I knew it in certain occasions.
So this is something useful for conversation.
It is useful for conversation. For example, if I say, Tony, you look so handsome today, and you can say, 那是, of course, for sure. Yeah, see, and you say, I know, something like that.
It's like I know.
Yeah, I know.
So that's not something I should say, actually. It's a little bit too...
Well, it depends on your personality. You can say 那是 for sure, but that's the idea. 那是 means sure, that is, or of course.
Okay. And then 我最近, this is I recently.
I recently.
在, or this is like doing or
doing something, yes.
Doing something. And then 学, I believe this is study.
Study.
Right? And then 含有.
含有.
I think this is the with.
Yeah, it's more like contain. So 含有.
汉语 is language, right?
汉语 is Chinese language, yes. But 含有 is like consist, certain kind of element, or certain part. 含有. 数字.
数字. This is like numbers, right?
Numbers, 数字.
的成语.
成语, we know this
idioms,
one.
Right?
Idioms, yes.
刚好.
刚好.
So
happens to.
Happens to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like 刚好 is a very official kind of word, but it's really useful. If you want to say it happens that I catch or I caught the elevator. 我刚好赶上电梯. It's saying that you're right on time, not early, not late.
Okay.
刚好 happens.
And then
用上了.
用上, I see 用, that means use, right? So 上 is what?
用上 actually together it means I get to use it in this occasion. 用上了.
Right.
Use it. So that is the conversation. Do you have any questions?
No, that's just my vocabulary is a little bit expanding after this session. So,
yeah, and you get to learn to say one thing in different expressions. That's the beauty of language.
Expressions are so mind-boggling.
So it's thought-provoking.
Yes.
All right, so 你知道北京冬奥的很多场馆都是夏季奥运会的场馆改建的吗？
知道啊，因为北京是第一个双奥之城嘛。场馆以前废后。
丰厚。
Oh, 丰厚。
Actually, I think we should switch turns. You should be the one
learning.
I should
be the first one?
Yeah, you should be the one learning all the idioms. Let's do it again.
All right. 你知道北京冬奥的很多场馆都是夏季奥运会的场馆改建的吗？ it was longer.
It is. 知道啊，因为北京是第一个申奥之城嘛，场馆遗产丰厚。
真是以质量的12鸟一箭双雕啊！
你这几个成语用的真好。
那是，我最近在学汉语，是数字的成语，刚好用上了。
Great! You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Hongling, and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts by email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's learn about all the different venues that the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic Games are going to use. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I am Niu Hongling with Tony here, and yes, you're looking at a live recording of our show Takeaway Chinese. If you like the show, please search for Takeaway Chinese. That's Takeaway space Chinese in anywhere you find your favorite podcast. It's in the form of a podcast, so you can do your commute, you can do some house chore and listen to it. But if you are not satisfied with just that, just stay with CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page, YouTube channel, as well as 英语环球广播微博 to catch some of our live streams, so you get to see us directly as well.
Yeah, and I think there's something for everyone. I mean, if you're kind of at the intermediate or beginner level, I try to highlight things that I can actually use in the in the beginner's context, and then of course these expressions are quite advanced, so I think everybody gets a little bit depending on your level.
Yeah, and another perk of watching the live stream would be you can actually take part into the show so that you can get your questions answered directly.
Yeah.
And we'll say hi to you, give you a shout out. For example, we have a text saying hello, hello to you too. I believe you're watching on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the experience. And Giovanni, our old friend, saying, who do you think will get the most gold, Niuniu? That is a question that I'm reserving because I have also a very special surprise guest with me here today a little bit later. He is the expert when it comes to sports. He's being very humble and saying that he's not the expert in winter sports, but I'm pretty sure if I ask him questions on my level, he'll be able to understand. And let's save that question for him a little bit later. And Giovanni's also saying snowboarding is the best to watch. Oh, I like snowboarding.
Yeah, the best to watch. Not to, I mean, yeah.
You can try. Well, how about in the future, I go try some winter sports?
I just know a lot of friends that do snowboarding.
Oh, yeah,
and
we can do that.
It's pretty cool. It's just, yeah, you have to be careful because a lot of them got injured. But it's pretty awesome when you get it down and you're able to actually
have fun,
get off the bunny hill and do something, spectacular. Then it's pretty cool.
You call it the bunny road.
The bunny hill.
Bunny hill. We call it the baby hill.
The baby hill.
Baby hill, 宝宝道. And also saying hello to Iliadi, saying greetings from Indonesia. Good afternoon to both of you. Good afternoon to you too. Very happy to have you. And Simon saying also can take the opportunity to showcase the broadcasting capability and coverage for various events. Rare opportunity to get close to audiences. That's totally true. Actually, in the second half of the show, we're going to cover information including the preparation work in all these venues. And I think one thing that we tend to forget or overlook is that for winter sports games, not only are you building the venues, you're also taking care of the making of the ice and snow, and also the coverage, the live coverage of the show. The technology side can also be very intriguing.
Yeah, lots of things that are going to be in the works for this Olympics, and I think we're going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah?
Yes. So with no further ado, let's continue recording Takeaway Chinese for a bit, and after that, don't forget, we also have a surprise guest that will be joining the live stream, so you do not want to walk away. Okay, let's continue recording, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leaving them in the comment area. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Tony here in the studio. So first things first, Takeaway Chinese is a Chinese sharing teaching show.
Yeah.
So do you know any words, any expressions, any idioms that contains numbers in it?
I think we just kind of went over one.
Well, actually three.
Yeah, three, but meaning the same thing, right? So yeah, 一举两得.
一举两得, that's doing one thing, getting two positive results, getting two gains. Actually, 一心二用 is another idiom I'd like to share here.
一是
一心,
oh, 一心
one heart.
二用
二用, two use.
One heart, two usages.
Yep. Doing two things simultaneously. So it's multitasking. See, when Chinese people talk about multitasking, we talk about 一心二用, one heart on two matters.
Heart. That means that you're really into it, though, right?
You're really into it.
But sometimes we can multitask and not really be into it.
And it can also mean that in ancient times, people don't understand biology. They don't really understand that it's your brain is controlling things instead of your heart, so they're using heart.
Okay.
And we also have 三生有幸, that's another one.
三生有幸.
Yeah.
Supremacy, something about supreme, right?
Yeah, something about being very lucky. So 三生 would be 3 lives. 有幸 is lucky. So I am using 3 lifetimes of luck to do this one thing. For example, if I get to watch the games on spot, if I get to watch the Olympic Games on spot, I would say, wow, 我真是三生有幸可以现场看比赛. It means just I am just extremely lucky.
Yeah.
Extremely lucky.
Luck of 3 lifetimes?
Luck of 3 lifetimes. It's like I'm using, I am, let's say, exhaust the luck of 3 lifetimes.
Okay, interesting.
And 四通八达 is another one I'd like to introduce here.
四通
八达.
Ba, is that a number? That's 8.
It is a number, it's 8.
That's 8, right?
So 四 is 4.
4.
And 八 is 8. So 四通八达 actually means for all the directions, the 4, the 8, all the directions, is accessible. It's talking about mostly transportation network. So 四通八达, you can say the venues are in the location where it's 四通八达.
Okay, so it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's everywhere. And I'm trying to use, let's say, the Winter Olympics or venues as the example sentences here, because that is the theme of our show today. So do you know anything about the venues in Beijing?
I hear that they are looking to be very sustainable and green, and I guess there's the, I guess you could say the carbon emissions are supposed to be done a little bit differently this year. So let's see. There's 12 venues in the main, in the Olympic green, right? And 7 are non-competitive or non-competition?
Yes.
And so non-competition, this means what?
The kind of centers that are used for, let's say, supporting services. Actually, when we say there are 12, it means that there are 12 venues in the Beijing cluster. So cluster is another term when it comes to Olympics. In total, there are 25 venues, and all the 25 venues are separated or located in 3 different clusters.
Yeah.
Yes. So even though we say that Beijing is the first dual Olympic cities, we need a little bit of help from other cities as well, including Zhangjiakou. So that is another city.
That's in Hebei, right?
That's in Hebei, yes.
It's near Beijing. It's a little bit north, right?
So it's for the snow-related activities. Snow-related. See, I'm being not professional enough. I should say it's snow-related events and sports.
It's okay. People understand what you're saying.
Yes.
Right?
So, but when it comes to the construction of all these 25 activity-related venues, you get to see that we are using a lot of green energy, green technology. So this actually will be the first time in the history of the Olympics that all the venues will be wholly powered by green energy. So we're reaching a carbon neutral state, meaning that all the carbon emissions of all these venues will be neutralized by other, including plantation or technology related method.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this before, and I was wondering if there is a backup generator, because green energy is great and all, but you know, there is the possibility that if you exceed or you need more energy, you know, if everything just shuts off, then that wouldn't be good either. So I'm sure there's got to be some generators or some extra reserve energy just in case. Right?
Yeah, that's the hope as well for me.
Man, that would be kind of funny if that happened.
But I'm pretty sure it won't happen, and we won't be be in need for the backup energy.
Somebody's in the middle of a competitive event and the
power
goes out.
You have a really strange sense of humor here.
I know.
But yes, like we said, the first Olympics that all the venues will be wholly powered by green energy. And that is not all. We know when it comes to green power, there's also the green venue related. So in line with the Green Olympics initiative, the venues of the Beijing 2022 Games are applying more green technology to reduce energy consumption as well as the impact on the environment, which is, I would say, very reasonable, because if you think about any other industry, yes, we would go for a greener lifestyle, a greener way to produce, to manufacture. But for snow sports industry, it's kind of like a need that they carry within their own heart, because if the environment is not good enough, people would not want to go outside. And if we have too much green, actually, if we have too much greenhouse gas emitted to the environment, the temperature would go high, and there would be not enough snow to do snow sports. So it all makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, the act of making snow has always been really interesting. Like, yeah, just making snow.
Making snow.
Yeah. Again, I'm from California, so we don't see too much of that where I'm from. But yeah, when I came to Beijing, making snow, I'm just like, how do they make that? Like, where did all the snow come from? So yeah, that answers the question.
Well, yeah, they need to make sure the condition of the snow, let's say, snow sports related venues are up to standards.
Sure.
But generally, Beijing, I would say, is a 四季分明的城市. It's a city with very distinct characters for the 4 seasons. So in summer, it can be quite hot, and in winter days,
super hot and humid. Yes.
And in winter time, we actually see a lot of snows as well, but
very cold.
Very cold.
Super cold and dry. Yes.
That's kind of the reason why Beijing get to be the first dual Olympic city. It has distinct
extreme weather, guys.
in 4 seasons. I would say weather with characters in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And we know that Beijing has introduced carbon dioxide refrigerants for ice making, the least toxic and most eco-friendly natural refrigerant, in a bid to further reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah, and I guess the transportation is supposed to be pretty convenient. There's a line or a subway line or a train line that's going to go directly to the sites.
Yes, that
should be good.
That as well. Actually, because today marks the 100-day countdown of the 2022 Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, they have released much more information about the preparation work, and we get to see that all the venues are ready for people to go in and carry out sports, and also the transportation is in line, and all we need to do is just have people in, have the volunteers summoned, and we are ready for a beautiful Olympic Games.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Volunteer. Really good. I mean, they got to be winter lovers, I think.
Oh yeah, they get to be winter lovers.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And for them, one thing that I find interesting is that they will have a lot of sports-related information or sport-related knowledge.
Who, the volunteers?
The volunteers. They need to understand different sports. They need to be able to help the, let's say, the athletes. And that is why, actually, we conducted a little survey on Beijing streets to see how much information people live here know about, let's say, the Winter Games, the Winter Olympics. We can watch the video a little bit later, but that actually is the ending part of Takeaway Chinese, our show today, our podcast show today. Like I promised, a little bit later we'll be welcoming a special surprise guest here in the studio, and that means thank you, Tony. Yes. Your part is concluded.
Alrighty. Well, you guys have a pleasant time with Honglin.
Thank you, and thank you very much for watching the live recording of Takeaway Chinese. Right now, let's check out the fun video that we make right here in our office, asking around on winter game related knowledge on Beijing streets. There are, let's say, people living in the city. They can be Chinese. There are people from all over the world, from different countries. And let's take a look at the video. 我们来看一下冬奥问答小视频。
Oh, what's up, guys? This is Yunqi. The Winter Olympics is approaching soon in February next year. And today we have prepared some fun quizzes for the people from Beijing and see how well do they know about this sport event. Let's go. Alright, do you know what's the speed limit on China's highway?
I don't drive.
80? In miles?
Kilometers.
In kilometers is actually 120.
Oh, it's faster than I thought.
Now I'm going to give you 3 different Winter Olympic sports.
Okay.
And can you name which one is most likely to receive a speeding ticket on China's highway? So there's downhill skiing, ski jumping, and short track speed skating.
Short track speed skating?
Actually, that's the slowest.
Oh, nice.
I would say the first one.
Downhill skiing?
Yeah.
The fastest record is 135 kilometers per hour. The curling stone is pretty heavy, right?
Yeah, it is heavy.
Do you think your luggage is going to go overweight if you check in a curling stone with your luggage?
You know what? I think it's the most boring sport in Winter Olympics, so I know nothing about curling and how much does the stone weigh, but I would say yes.
Probably.
Probably.
I would say no.
Yes. I would think so.
Yeah, but actually no.
No? Okay.
A curling stone is under 20 kilograms.
Well, it seems like it would be heavier than that.
Yeah, it's actually between 38 and 44 pounds.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. 北京的冬奥会呢有3个赛区。
颜色。
对。
然后好像还有一个
I'm not good enough in China geography. I don't know. I know Chongli.
I know only one. It's in Chongli. Chongli. It's in Zhengjiakou.
Are you intending to go watch the game?
Ice skating, those are my favorites.
花样观赏，我想看那个转到速滑，
为什么？
帅。
I would like that if I can find some tickets available. I would like to go.
北京，冬奥，加油，
加油！
北京冬奥，北京冬奥，加油，加油，加油，加油！
北京冬奥，加油！
Welcome back. You're watching a live stream with CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page, YouTube channel, and 英语环球广播微博. We are doing a special program on the 100-day countdown of the Winter Olympics in Beijing 2022. And here I am sitting in the studio with our very special surprise guest here, Mr. Yang Guang. Hi. Hello, Yang Guang.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yang Guang, a sports editor with the news team. We're also running a sports podcast called Sideline Story. So if you are interested in sports or want to follow the latest news, don't hesitate to follow us and find us on the website.
So sideline news, as in you're watching the game on the sideline.
Exactly.
That is a cool name. I like the name, Sideline News. So give us a little bit more information about the podcast you're doing, because I know you've done a special episode on the Olympic Games 100-day countdown as well.
Yeah, we just finished